Hello everyone. These days I often get to ask the question, how will the upcoming US elections affect our portfolios? I get it. These are current events and we like to talk about them like the recent heat wave or the Olympics. But embedded in this question, I get the sense that people feel that there's a binary outcome where one party will lead to prosperity and another will lead to hardship. Today, I'm not here to pick sides or decide who should be in power, but what I want to do is provide some historical context for previous US elections and the markets. I found two really interesting charts that I think can help paint this picture. Let's have a look at the first chart. This chart was put together by Truist co-CEO Keith Lerner, and it illustrates the S&P 500's performance since the post-war era. In the background, you'll see two colors, red and blue. Red indicates that Republicans were in power during that period, and blue indicates that Democrats were in power. Now, take a moment, have a look at it, and what conclusions can we make from it? Number one, I don't think it makes a difference really who's in power, whether it be Republicans or Democrats. Number two, most years, it looks like maybe 3/4, the stock market does go up. And third, the down years seem to be shared between two parties. Now let's have a look at the second chart. In this, we look at three different investment approaches and their outcomes. So the first investment approach is that you are a Republican and you will only invest in times where the Republicans are in power. The second investment strategy is the Democratic side. You only invest when Democrats are in power. And the third is one where you stay invested. You're agnostic. You don't care. You will continue to stay invested regardless of who's in power. The results provided by the Schwab Center for Financial Research are noteworthy. From 1961 to 2013, a $10,000 investment in the S&P 500 during only Republican years would grow to $102,000. $10,000 to $102,000. Wow, that's a 10-fold increase. Now, investing only during Democratic years would turn $10,000 into $500,000. A 50-fold increase and 5 times more than the Republican era. Now, let's look at the third investment strategy where you remained invested from 1961 to 2023, regardless of what party was in power. And here, the $10,000 grows into an astonishing $5 million. That's not a typo. I'm not saying the wrong words there. It's $5 million. The stark contrast between staying invested and being partisan is undeniable. Just look at the numbers. 100,000, 500,000, 5 million, and it is the power of compounding that is at the heart of this difference. By sticking to one party, you miss out on decades of positive returns that compound and compound and compound into something truly extraordinary. So the conclusion, therefore, is that it is better to not be distracted by today's media hype and keep our focus instead on the long term. It sounds boring, but the outcome of following this approach is undeniable. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.